Hi, and welcome to this live reading from The Maiden's Sleep by Michael J. Stiehl. And this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1. I hate kids, and yet there are two in the pile of sticks and mud I call home. Please help us, says the girl with hair the color of flax seeds. Her brother stands so close to her and is so silent I wonder if he's real. I woke up with a bad case of double vision today, so it's not impossible. It took an hour of drinking to make it go away. The only kid I ever didn't hate was my own, but I should have. My daughter killed my wife when she was born. After that, I thought I would spend my days fighting the urge to throw her in a river. It didn't work out like that. What's the trouble? I say, rubbing my eyes with grubby fingers. Our father is missing, the girl murmurs, staring at the dirt floor. I watch her breath turn white in the cold fall air. Who's your dad? I grunt. Aston Oscar, she replies, expecting a reaction. Never heard of him, I say, denying her one. We haven't seen him in a week, she continues. Then he's dead, I reply, trying to stand wobbling and then thinking better of it. No, he isn't, the boy yells, flecks of spittle flying. The sound of his voice makes my head want to explode. I have an urge to make sure the boy doesn't make that sound again. I consider killing him. I even grope for my bow before I remember I sold it 3 months back. I stare at him, backlit by the pale sunlight outside the doorway, and decide to humor him. What makes you so sure? I say, unclenching my teeth and trying to sound comforting. Because, he replies, pausing for a moment before continuing, my dad is tough. I envy the boy's certainty. I'm jealous that he still believes in something when I no longer can. My old man was shit. I had no illusions about that from a young age. Sure, homesteading on the fringes is a hard life, but that's bound to make for a hard man. But he went further than that. There were whole seasons when I wore more bruises than clothes, and I often wondered how the hell he expected me to work all day with cracked ribs. What do you want me to do about it? I asked, genuinely curious what they'll say. Why 2 kids would trek out here to this rundown sod house is a mystery to me. Any normal person would have run off at the sight of it, let alone the smell. Find him, orders the girl. We've got money. She fumbles in the pocket of her enormous frock coat and pulls out a small leather bag. With a lackadaisical flick, she plops it on the ground just out of my reach. It spills open, and a sea of worn copper pieces sluices across the ground. It's a paltry, laughable sum, and more money than I've seen in months. I flop over on my side, scoop up the coins, and start counting. Dignity be damned. Monsters must have taken him, the little boy blubbers, hidden him in church a keep. There are 67 worn copper pieces and 1/2 of a silver piece from all the way back in Lord Elderbine's reign. It will buy me food for a month, maybe more, but I'll drink it away in a week. Fairy tales, I grumble, focusing again on the children. Everyone thinks anything that goes missing around here is scooped up by monsters and taken to that pile of rocks. It's like I said, your dad is dead, killed by bandits. You are Beau, right? Huffs the girl. How do I answer that when I'm not sure anymore? Doesn't matter, I say, putting the coins back in the bag with my shaking hands. Not interested. I heard Knife and Beau help people, whines the boy. They're heroes. Well, Knife is dead, I say, picturing my daughter's face, and Beau would like to be, so piss off. I close the bag and toss it at them. Then I lie down and roll over on my side. Look, says the girl, desperation straining her voice. I don't know where our dad is, but I think I know who does. Frennick. I see my daughter blue-faced and still. I'm crying over her body, and next to her is an empty vial. It was supposed to cure her of the maiden's sleep, but she hated the smell of it and wouldn't drink it. She always had better sense than me. I hid it in her food, convinced it was the right thing to do. I could still hear her rasping and trying to speak that horrible night I watched her die. I love you, she said over and over until all she could do was point and say you. I bought that poison from Flinnick. I roll back over and sit up, almost throwing up the half bottle of booze that's sloshing in my gut. Tell it to your mom, I say, or Benny, or hell, anyone but me. I'm not going to be any help. Our mother has been dead for years, snaps the girl. And Benny and the rest of the town guard laughed when we told them. We've tried, everyone. You're all that's left. The boy moves the dirt floor around with the toe of his boot before saying, please. My daughter was my heart. With my wife dead, all my love moved to her and magnified. I never wanted to be without her, so I resigned my commission in the Royal Guard, collected years' worth of pay, and took to the road in search of a quiet life. I was a terrible farmer and even worse, the trades. Soon, money got tight. But then I found a way to make money with my bow again. It was an accident. I was holed up in a village overnight when thugs came looking for trouble. They found it in me. Come dawn, half were dead and the others were running for their lives. The villagers scraped together what they had and gave it to us. Then they told us that 2 towns over they had the same problem. I tried teaching my daughter the bow as soon as she could stand. She was terrible, had no feel for it, but she always liked knives. At first, I thought it was because they were shiny, but that wasn't it. Killed her first rabbit at 20 paces when she was 3. She only got better from there. By 8, I taught her everything I knew about fighting. By 12, not a man around could best her, especially not with a knife. That's when people started calling us Knife and Bow. My daughter was always so proud of that. I reach for the bag of coins, but the little girl grabs it first. She pours some of them into the packed dirt floor. Half now, half later, she says, ice in her voice. Okay, I mumble, scrounging the coins from the ground and knowing I'm about to be stupid. I'll ask around, but that's all. The kids look happy. I wish I shared their enthusiasm.